Hello and welcome to another episode of Pull Yourself to Pieces.
I can't believe you dragged me here again.
Well, who else am I going to drag?
I don't know, and I always show up like an idiot. You just...
Well, if I just droned on and on by myself, we really have no show.
So 2 drones are better than 1?
Yeah. I mean,
okay.
we gotta entertain the
2 listeners we have.
People. Yeah, right.
Okay.
Not including you and I.
All right, I'm ready.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, you talked me into it. I'm here, so we might as well do it.
Oh, okay. So
yeah.
Anyway.
Yeah.
So hey, old bag, it was just your birthday.
Yes, yesterday it was my birthday. Yes, it was.
Yesterday, right? Yeah. By the time the show gets to air, it'll be a couple of days, but still.
Yeah. March 4th. March 4th was my birthday. The only day that is a command.
Yeah.
And it makes me a Pisces, if you believe in that stuff, which I don't.
A feces? Oh, Pisces.
Yeah, feces. No, feces. No, don't get the 2 mixed up. What's weird? What's interesting is Pisces is supposed to be the water sign,
right?
Which is odd because I really don't like the water. I don't like getting wet. I don't like going into the ocean. I'm not crazy about swimming. I'm not crazy about swimming pools.
Really?
So yeah.
What do you have against that?
Worst thing for me is like if I'm outside and it's raining and raindrops are falling on my head. No, I hate that crap. I hate getting wet. I have this thing about getting wet. Yeah. Now, I mean, I don't mind taking a shower. That's wonderful.
Thank God.
You have to get clean. Yeah, thank God. It only goes so far, my fetish. So, but I don't like to get wet. And people, if there's a big swimming pool and people, come on, jump in the pool. I'm like, I look at it and I go, nah, I'd rather sit here and sweat.
So don't get you wet. And don't eat
like
after midnight.
I must, don't feed me don't get me wet after midnight. I must have been a cat in a previous life, and I'm also allergic to cats. So maybe that's it. Maybe I was reincarnated into a person from a cat. I don't know.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
I don't believe in that either, but I know you do. Anyway, we'll talk about that later.
Oh,
anyhow,
that'll be an interesting show when we get to that one. But anyway, so how does it feel?
Oh, I finally caught up to the song,
Oh.
When I'm 64.
Oh, the Beatles song, right.
Yeah, I finally caught up to the song. This is a milestone for me, yeah.
You remember when that song came? When did that song come out? In the 60s?
67. 1967. Wow. That is on the Sgt. Pepper's album.
Yeah.
And I remember it. I remember singing along, and I remember thinking, man, 64, that's old.
Right. I feel like you and I have talked about this before, but it always seems like, I think in the last show or the show before that, we mentioned something about how, your interpretation when you're young of someone who's old, if you're in your
it's one-sided.
It's like just somebody like 20 something years older than you is like old, Oh, he's 30. He's old.
It's uninformed and it's one-sided. You think everybody that's 20 years older than you is old.
Right.
Because think of it really though. I mean, when you're a child growing up, I mean, everybody other than the little kids that you run into, everybody around you is old.
Well, yeah.
Your parents are old. Your grandparents are old. Your aunts and your uncles are old. Compared to you, they're old.
Yeah.
And then somehow everything becomes equalized. And when you reach your 40s and your 50s and your 60s, the playing field now has been leveled. You're as old as everybody else.
Yeah. It must be weird for like one of those families where they have a lot of kids. I mean, like they have like 8 or 10 kids, and they've got all this, this quite a bit of an age spread between them.
Yeah.
Where, some of the new ones coming out, like looking at the older ones, like, well,
right.
Like
man, my brother's old.
My brother's old.
Man, he's old. Yeah.
Right.
Yep.
But anyway,
it's weird.
So, how do you feel?
So I may be 64 in actual years, but in my head, I'm still 21.
Okay, well, there you go. That's why I said, how do you feel? Because
yeah,
I know there's like a physical feel, and then there's the mental feel, right?
Yeah. And the mental feel, I think, is primarily attached to the physical feel, or at least how you view the world, I think, and
Uh,
how you look at yourself. That's the other thing. I mean,
really?
if you think of yourself as an old person, then you might start acting and doing things that old people do, and you might forego jumping off the roof into the pool, or you might forgo getting into a
Right.
go-kart that can go 60 miles an hour and put on a helmet and have fun,
Right.
or you
Right.
might forgo doing all the things that young people normally do. So a lot has to do with how you are feeling physically, and I feel great. I can't
Well,
complain. I
you've
have
also
no.
always been an active person. I mean, you have a history of bodybuilding and keeping yourself in
Yes.
shape. You have a
Yes.
physical job, even though you tell me, oh, it's more mental, but it's to me, it's still a physical type of job. And you've always had a physical job. You never
Always.
had a job like I've had for years, where I'm
I've never
sitting
had
at
it. I've never sat behind a desk ever.
right, and um, so you're definitely more active, and it's going to keep you physically younger. So yeah, mentally younger. But I can relate to the young thing. We've talked about this before. I in my
Yeah.
mind, mentally, I still feel like I'm like 18, 20 years old. It
Yeah.
just hasn't changed.
Right.
Maturity is different, and I always felt mature, even young. You know,
Yes, you can be
but that's a
young and
different.
still be mature.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. But physically, I'm 5 years younger than you, but I am, I can't say I feel physically that great, but that's, you and I, that's a whole nother story. You and I
Yeah.
handle life, stress, whatever, differently, or
Completely differently.
right. So
Completely differently.
that's aged me.
But and that all harkens back to growing up.
Really?
We didn't have I didn't have the greatest parents at all. In fact, I had horrible parents, and they were actually your parents too. But your view of my
it's,
parents is considerably different than my view.
it's interesting.
And
It's the same people, but it's when you talk about it like that, it,
right,
it,
yeah,
it's it's weird. It's almost like, yeah, I hadn't thought about
yeah,
it the way you just said that, where it's like,
yeah. I
no,
mean,
it's the
I
same
hate I
same
hated my
people, but
mother.
they're different to you. They're like different parents.
Yeah, right. I hated my mother because she was abusive to me as a child, and our father was, I wouldn't say non-existent. I mean, he was there, but he didn't really interact with his kids,
Yeah,
hardly ever.
yeah.
I was never taken fishing. I was never taken to ball games. I was never, father son activities. There was no such thing.
Yeah.
The closest I got to a father son activity was riding with my father on a Saturday in the van that he drove through Brooklyn and Queens like a maniac, doing his job, and sitting there next to him, and dead quiet. The man didn't speak. Dead quiet.
Take your kid to work and
Take
scare the
your kid
crap
to
out of him,
work and not talk to him.
and,
I mean, if it
and
wasn't
do 100
for
miles an
the
hour and scare him.
radio, serious, if it wasn't for the radio, it would have been dead silent in the van. So the
Really?
radio was always on and listening to 60s music, and then 70s music. But my father, he didn't speak. He never talked. Um,
Yeah, and
so
it's funny. He wasn't a
he was not an antisocial man. He
right.
was just a quiet man.
Yeah.
But he liked to be the center of the
Yeah,
attention,
which is
and he could.
such a contradiction, right? I mean,
Exactly.
I remember, you of course going to remember better than I do, but I remember there'd be occasions and parties where he was sort of
He
outgoing,
was
and
he was hysterical. Yes.
so
He was,
it's
yes.
interesting how you could be quiet. I don't think he
Yes.
was that great with kids. I
No,
think
he
that didn't
didn't.
help
He
any
didn't.
either.
He had no idea. Well, here's the thing. He never got to relate to his parents. He was brought up by his grandmother because his parents worked, and
Yeah,
so he didn't see his
imagine being
parents.
brought up, yeah, but grandmother. So that right there, that's true.
So he didn't know how to relate to children, and again, that
Plus, he was
that
the
never changed.
first son, right?
Yeah, he was the oldest. Well,
right,
he
the
was the
eldest
oldest
son.
of the
He's not the
boys.
oldest,
Right.
but and they had like what,
He
5 or
was
6 of them, right? 5
5 or
kids, I
6
think.
kids. Yeah, we
That's
had
just
5 or 6 aunts and uncles. They're all gone. They're all dead.
I know. I was just thinking
Oh,
about that. It's funny you brought that up. I was just thinking that within the last 13 years since our father passed, 2009, we've
right.
lost like many of them. It's really interesting.
Yeah, on both sides,
On
on
both
mom's
sides,
and
there've been
dad's side.
quite a
Yeah,
few of our aunts and
yeah,
uncles and parents that have
yeah,
gone in just that
yeah,
short period of time. 13 years is not very
yeah,
long. You and I think about 13 years from now,
yeah. It's
okay?
our family is like the Donna party. We keep dropping like flies here, except nobody eats us. That's the only difference. We started out like a dozen, and before you know it, we're down to like 3 people. So, but nobody gets eaten. That's the only difference. But yeah,
Yeah.
it's our family has shrunk considerably. But I mean, it
So getting
happens because
so getting back to the
yeah,
the different parent thing,
yeah.
and I mean, could it have something to do with you being the firstborn, me being the middle child, and then we had that other offspring?
I don't know. I don't if even if I was the firstborn, why would our mother treat me so badly as a little boy? What was the
Well,
catalyst for all this physical abuse that I had to endure?
right.
I mean, it doesn't make any sense. I mean, if she was truly uh, homicidal, then you would have turned out the same way. She would have used you as a punching bag, and she would have done the
Right.
same thing to that who we do not speak of, our sister. All
Oh,
3 of
that's
us would
true.
have had
Right.
been the punching bags. But
Right.
no, um, mom treated you literally like a veal in a box that was always protected, didn't have to do anything, and you would never laid a hand on. And
That I
so
recall
obviously,
for the most part, yeah.
trust me, I was there. I remember you never got hit or smacked or beat ever.
Yeah.
And so that was the main difference.
Well, her reasoning is, which
Oh, we've
what,
heard the stories. Yeah, her reasoning
right?
is it's not logical. It's an
No,
excuse, and it's a
right.
horrible
It's the
excuse.
way she was raised,
Yeah,
and you were
I was a
inquisitive.
oh no no
Uh,
no no no. Her father used to beat her when she was a young girl, even into her teens. He was very
right,
very physical with her, and not in a good way. I mean, in a bad way. He never showed her any
right,
affection. Very rarely said "I love you."
right.
And my mother basically followed that pattern, and basically, I think, took out her anger and her frustration on me, another male. Granted, a tiny little male, but still, I mean, I can remember the number of times I was a punching bag.
Well,
And
plus, I believe our uncle was
oh,
kind of
oh,
right. She had a brother that was almost a son. Age difference. I mean, 14 years difference.
yeah,
I
right,
mean,
yeah. She was the mother to Uncle Sal, who
right,
was our grandmother's one of our grandmother's children,
right.
and who was basically a dead ringer for me. I mean, we could have passed for twins.
Well,
But
besides the look, though, is also,
besides
I
the
guess
look,
he was being. She had 2 daughters, and then she had the son. He was
right?
ambitious. He was rambunctious. He was inquisitive. Nothing wrong with
Yes,
that.
no, nothing wrong with that.
But she didn't know how to handle
But
that.
no, and to treat him with the atrocities that she did to him, it's no wonder that he turned out to be a drug addict, and it's no wonder that he basically overdosed at 33 years old.
Yeah.
Short life, a short, troubled life.
Yeah, it's funny. I was just thinking about him and our aunt, and I'm remembering one of the last times I saw them together.
Yeah.
What year do you think he passed away? Was it
Oh,
83,
well,
85?
I was 23, so it was
80, 81?
1980 80
Where is that?
81. Yeah, it was 81.
81.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, he was 10 years older than me, and I was 23, and he passed away.
I remember, I think the last time I saw him, which wasn't long before that happened to him,
Yeah.
that he overdosed, was that I think I saw him and our aunt at a function. There was a function for like a bunch of people got together to hear a band. It was who's the
No,
band that did it was
no,
a Long Island band, but
no.
Yes.
I don't
16
think so.
Candles. Who's that? Who am I thinking of?
Oh, Johnny Maestro?
Johnny Maestro and the Brooklyn
You saw them at a
Bridge.
Johnny Maestro and a Brooklyn Bridge concert?
Johnny Maestro and the Brooklyn Bridge around 1981 played at a hall, okay? And they were there. And I was there because what I remember, it was right at the time when I was just starting to do DJing with my school's radio station, and there was a DJ fill-in. Like, in other words, you remember those days when we used to DJ where you'd have a band,
right?
Anyone who doesn't know, which no one does know, is that Ray and I have a history of being disc jockeys where we would play music at clubs.
Well, you played the music at the club. I was usually part of the bouncer team, and then you and I decided to start our own DJ business, and we went.
No, but there was a time when we were working at that club El Torito where certain nights I was working opposite the band. So like a band would get hired, they'd come in. But I'm now remembering, you're right. The nights that you worked, there was no band those nights. You just basically came in and you played.
I did oldies. I did
several
50s
hours,
and 60s
right?
music. Yeah.
And why did I bring that up? So
I don't know.
Before that stint that we started doing with DJing, I had started DJing, and there was a guy who was going to be in between Johnny Maestro, in between their sets, and he'd be playing music, and I went with him. I think I was his assistant or something like that. And sure enough, our aunt and uncle were there, and that was one of the last times I saw them, and they were having a good time. Most people having a good time.
Yeah.
And they just popped into my head, and I couldn't remember who the band was. But anyway, getting back to parents.
Getting back to parents.
Yeah, it's just odd. I mean, it could have had a lot to do with our personalities. You're way more outgoing. I've always been kind of quiet and a shy person. And I mean, it doesn't surprise me that our parents, although not, I feel the same exact way that you do about Dad. Okay. There really wasn't any real relationship there. He was there for us.
Right.
Put a roof over our head,
Yes.
Food on a table.
Yes.
That's pretty much where it ended. I think his entire devotion was to our mother entirely.
Oh, yeah. Two
if
things
she had
in life
said she didn't want any children, then he would have been. I really feel he would have been okay with that.
Oh, without a doubt. He loved two things. Our mother and horse racing. Horse racing was the only time that I saw that man get excited and animated and pound his fist and jump up and down on the couch watching his horse run. Other than that, very, very quiet and reserved.
Yeah.
Anyhow, so I mentioned to you just the other day how after all these decades of basically hating my mother and carrying that hate around with me for years, I actually finally forgave her. She's been dead now. It's going to coming up to a year. She passed away last May of 21.
Right.
And I finally. I'm
really surprised to hear this.
Yeah. And
I have to ask, obviously, the most obvious question: what changed your mind, or what revelation?
I don't know.
Happened?
I was washing the dishes.
That's always when it happens.
Yeah.
Yeah, I wash the dishes and I cut my finger open and I go to the hospital.
I get my I get my best inspiration when I'm either taking a shower or washing the dishes. Anyhow,
I think I was taking a crap.
No. You
don't get any inspiration during that time, huh?
No, I don't. No, not at all. No, I was at the sink washing the dishes, and she pops into my head like she normally does, and usually right after she pops into my head, this rage follows it immediately.
When she pops into your head, is it her talking or is it her swinging?
No. Well, something will remind me of her.
Uh-huh.
A smell or a sound or a song or something will trigger a memory of her.
Yeah.
And when that happens, the next thing that happens is that anger just wells up in me and I get angry. But the other morning, washing dishes, something triggered me, and I thought of her. And right there and then, I said to myself, nobody is around. I live alone. I said, you know what? I can't forget what she did to me. I can't forget what she did to me. I can't forget what she did to my mother. I can't forget what she did to my father. I can't forget what she did to my sister. I can't forget what she did to my brother. I can't forget what she did to my aunt. I can't forget what she did to my uncle. I can't forget what she did to my and maybe someday I will. Maybe that memory will actually finally fade. But I think I'm ready to forgive. And I just said, yeah, you know what? I'm not mad anymore. And boy,
I
got to tell you, brother, it felt like a giant load had been lifted off my back. It really did.
Was that quick, like a light switch?
It was that quick. Yeah, it was that quick. I guess I had finally reached the point in my life where I could no longer harbor that anger. And it just left me just like that. It was like turning on a light switch. I didn't have to pine about it. I didn't have to talk to, professionals about it, sit on a couch and, spend
You should also
hours.
make it known that, I mean, I know, I don't know how many times, but there were several times in her life that she tried to apologize to you for that.
But right? She probably apologized to me over 200 times, if I had to guess.
Yeah.
And,
that's got to count for something, I guess.
I mean, with tears, with tears welling up in her eyes, apologizing to me for all she had done to me.
Right.
But by that point, I'd been so galvanized. And when you hate somebody for that long, it's really hard to have those words have any real meaning.
Yeah.
They're meaningless. It's like, I needed to hear those words 55, 60 years ago, not now.
And in Mom's defense, I have to say, this is to a fault, actually, what I'm about to say. Our mom has for the most part in our adult years, maybe even, for quite some time before her passing, many, many years, I didn't feel like our mother was judgmental to all three of us, to a fault, actually. Agree?
Judgmental in what way?
Like, she kind of always took our side.
Yeah, she was. In fact,
and it's sometimes, for a lack of better judgment, with.
Oh yeah. No, her kids. Her kids came first. Don't you dare mess with my kids.
Yeah.
And family is
we
family.
We could do no wrong. I felt like
we could do no wrong.
That's
which is it's an unrealistic way to view life, but
right.
There
you go. Part of her upbringing, I think, just formulates to someone who, I don't know, just
right. So I do have to thank her for two things: my love of music. I wouldn't be the man I am today and how much I love music if it wasn't for her, and all the confidence that she instilled in me as a young man, as a young child. A lot of confidence. I am the man I am today.
Huh.
Oh yeah, I have enough confidence to fill a stadium, and it's all because of her.
Really?
Which as a child sends a really weird mixed message. On the one hand, oh, my son, he's so smart. Oh, he's so handsome. He's such a good boy. And then an hour later, whack, bang, bing, I'm a punching bag. It's
right.
It's like you don't know how to accept it or take it.
Right.
But all that bolstering that I got as a child gave me confidence. And so I have to thank her for that.
Yeah. Yeah.
And anyway, so
wow.
Are we done talking about age?
What?
You didn't know that? Yeah, I mean, no. We only found each other when I was 18 and you were 13.
It sounds like I was one of us was moved out of the house and didn't know we were related.
You want me to tell the story?
You want to tell that story? Well, why don't we go to a break and come back so we can
all right
break it up a little bit.
We'll tell our audience, our two people, how we met.
Okay, there you go. Brothers, how we met. That's funny. All right. We're going to take a break. We'll be right back.
This is Bill.
And this is Ray.
And you're listening to Pull Yourself to Pieces. Catch a brand new episode every Wednesday.
Every Wednesday? Wait, every week?
Well,
you expect me here every single week to do this?
Are you serious?
I have things to do. I've got library books. I gotta wash my car.
Are you serious? You can't be here just to record once a week?
All right.
Whew.
And we're back, and you're listening to Pull Yourself to Pieces, the podcast. where we find something and we throw it away. No, what's our slogan, Bill?
I don't remember our slogan anymore.
we do something from the inside out.
Damn,
right.
I
don't remember what it
right.
is. What is it? Finding Nemo from the inside. No, something like that. I don't know. So anyway,
like it matters.
Billy and I grew up in the same house, but he's 5 years younger than me, and I moved out of my house when I was 18 because I hated my parents and I had to get out of there. And Billy and our sister were basically like furniture to me. They were there, but they didn't really matter. And that's because I was in my own little funk and I had my own problems to deal with, and they were just kind of furniture. Right. And so I moved out, and I only moved about 6 blocks away, ironically, into an apartment with
that far?
Yeah, 6 blocks away. I moved in with a friend of mine from high school who was a year older, and we shared an apartment. And from that moment on, moving away, a lot of the anger disappeared. So I had to go back home and work on my car because I needed a driveway. So here I am. I drive back home, which was 6 blocks away, and I'm under my car, which I spent a lot of time under cars because I'm a car guy. And Billy is out front, not 20 feet from where I am, under my car. And I hear him say, "All right, you guys," then I'm going to say action. And then I want you to come down, ride down the block on the bike. And then we're going to stop. And then we're going to have the fight scene. Then I'm going to say cut. And then I'm going to move the camera. So I hear him saying all this. And I'm like, what the hell? So I'm trying to ignore him because I'm working on my car. And then he starts again. All right, then I'm going to move the camera. I'm going to say action. And I'm going to say, and we're going to do this. And then and Johnny's going to come down the block and the big fight scene. So I go, "Billy, what are you doing?" He goes, "I'm making a movie." That's all he said. "I'm making a movie." And I went, okay, that's odd. So get back under my car, and I'm still working. And he's going again. He's continuing. And then you're going to say, "I'm going to move the camera here. And then we're going to go around in the backyard and we're going to film this." I'm going, "Billy, what are you doing?" He goes, "I'm making a movie. Leave me alone." So,
it's funny. I don't remember the dialogue. I remember making that movie.
I remember it verbatim. It was yesterday.
Let me say, if you remember it that well, and you remember certain things like bike riding and the big fight scene, that was not the movie that I ended up really coming together on.
I'm just using it as an example.
Oh,
okay. I don't really remember the directions you were given, but I'm adding that to give our audience an idea of what you were up to.
Yeah. Keep in mind that I was 13 years old. I had acquired a used, at the time, Super 8 film camera.
No, it wasn't Super 8. It wasn't Super 8. It was standard.
No, it was Super 8. It was Super 8.
No, it wasn't.
Yeah, it was Super 8.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
You had to send it away to get it sound striped, and I don't think.
No, yeah. Believe me, that I will never forget the formats and how they worked. 8mm was one of the first consumer film formats. Okay, what they did is they took 16mm and they cut it right in half, and you had 8mm.
Okay,
and then
you
what
had a
happened
Super 8
is,
camera.
well, wait, on 8mm, our father actually got a hold of a really pretty old 8mm camera, and it didn't really work that good. But then, I don't know what happened, he got a hold of a Super 8 camera, and the Super 8 camera, it was 8mm, but it was a little bit bigger, but this particular camera had no sound on it. So,
okay.
So I would shoot some films in Super 8, and and then I would they would be silent films, but I would record on a little cassette, like matching audio that we would dub in, and we have to play the cassette and watch the film on a projector at the same time, and it would never be in sync, which was really hilarious.
Yeah, and, I mean, you were basically the real live version of the movie 8mm, weren't you? No, Super 8.
Super 8. Oh, yeah.
You were the real live version of that.
Yeah.
Right back when that was popular, too.
Yeah.
Because the film takes place in the mid-'70s. And so
that
were
movie's
actually
the later 70s. Mine was mid 70s, but just pretty close to that timing.
To make this clear, you were actually doing this. You were
Yeah.
making films. So I'm under my car now. Now he's got me intrigued because now I'm wondering what the hell is he talking about. So I roll out from under my car and I stand up and I walk over to him. So I stand there and I look at you and I go, "Oh yeah, how do you know how to make a movie?" And he goes, "I just do." Just like that. It's like,
I wish I could remember saying that. That's
like
a great line.
Don't bother the director. I mean, you were actually incensed that I was bothering you and taking up your time. And so I went, "Oh yeah." I go, "What's the movie about?" And you go, "Oh, it's about two guys who go around killing people for no reason." And then you stopped and you looked at me and you said, "Why, do you want to help me?" And I looked down and I said, "Yeah, I do." And that was this day I discovered my brother.
Yeah.
And that was the day, and I'll say this with all honesty, that I discovered that you were a friggin' genius. Because
please.
you just blew me away with how much you knew about making films. And the only thing I could think of
13
at that
years
point
old, it wasn't bad.
But the next thing that entered my mind was, how did I not see this? How did I miss this? Because I was in my own funk. That's why.
Sure.
Had I been paying attention, I would have said to myself, "My God, my brother's a genius. He's making movies."
Yeah.
And then we proceeded to make your movie.
Yeah.
And
it's funny because, part of the movie was already filmed and you weren't cast, but I could use another member of a
family, because that's all we had was family. Right. So we killed our sister, we killed our father, we killed cousin Ronald 3 times. You killed me. Right. You killed Johnny, the bad guy. I mean, we recycled so many actors in your movie.
Oh, yeah. It's just like that movie Super 8. It is just like that.
Yeah, it is. It really is like that. Anyhow, so that's how Billy and I met, basically.
Yeah.
So
I have a brother. That's what it was.
I was Kevin Costner in Robin Hood, Prince of Thieves, where he goes,
"I have a brother.
I have a brother who I just shot through the hand with an arrow. I have a brother." Yeah, you do, you dumb bastard. All right, so
what's your story?
So I have a story. So I live in Virginia and I've been here 30 years.
It's 30 years this year, isn't it?
Yeah, I believe so. Yeah.
Oh yeah. Years. I've been married 30 years. You guys moved in 92, so there you go.
Yeah.
Coming up on 30 years. So
yeah.
Wow.
So I basically live 2 hours from the Blue Ridge Mountains, which are west of me.
Right.
And so I was living closer to the mountains at the time. This is back in 2002. I'm with my first wife, and I've got a Z28 Camaro convertible, and I said, "Come on, let's go take a ride down the Blue Ridge Parkway. Let's go up into the mountains." It was summertime. It was gorgeous. I had the top down. So we jump in the car and we head to the Blue Ridge Parkway, which basically rides along the top of the Blue Ridge Mountains, and it's breathtaking. Okay, the road is narrow; it's only 2 lanes, but the view left and right of you is absolutely amazing. So we're driving south towards North Carolina, and we come to this intersection, and there's cars everywhere. There's people everywhere. There's something going on. There's a big commotion. And as we look left, a short little road opens up into this giant resort. This giant resort pops out of nowhere on the Blue Ridge Parkway. So I look at her and I go, "Hey, you want to check it out?" She's like, "Okay." So we pull into this resort, and the place is huge. It's similar to Dirty Dancing. Remember the resort in Dirty Dancing? You had the lake, and you had the main house and the little cabins.
Right.
It was just like that. So we park, and we get out and we go walking around. So there's a lake, there's little paddle boats, there's all these little cabins. We go up to the main dining hall, and it's this huge dining room, and we're walking around going, "Wow, this is a really nice place. Yeah, we should come out here and spend one weekend. Yeah, great idea." So we were there maybe 20 minutes. We looked around. All right, let's jump back in the car and head back on Blue Ridge Parkway.
Oh,
so
okay.
There were a lot of people trying to leave, and this little road that leads out of this place intersects with the Blue Ridge Parkway. You can either make a left or a right. So there was this young guy directing traffic. So as we get up close to him, I look at him and I said, "Hey, man," I said, "this is a really cool place." I said, "I'm thinking of coming back here with my wife. What's the name of this place?" He says, "Pete Savatta." And I went, "Oh, okay." So we make a left turn.
Pete Savatta?
He goes, so I look at my ex and I go, "Pete Savatta." And she goes, "Yeah." I go, I know what happened. Some Italian guy from New York came down here on vacation and saw this place and he bought it. And he said, "I know, I'm going to turn it into a resort." And he put up all these cabins and he built this great place. And he said, "I'm going to name it after myself. I'm calling this place Pete Savatta." And so she looks at me, she goes,
"Sure.
Yeah, I can see that. That's good.
Right.
That works."
Yeah.
We drive not more than a half a mile. And on the right side of the road, we come to this giant wooden sign with engraved letters. And it says, "You are now leaving Peaks of Otter." Otter, as in small black animal that likes to clap its hands together. So I look at her, she looks at me, and at the same time we went, Pete Savatta. So that's what happens when you run into country people that don't enunciate.
Peaks of Otter.
Yeah, Peaks of Otter. Anyway, that's
even that is bizarre. Peaks of Otter.
That was the name.
Peaks?
That was the name of the portion or section of, I don't know, town or road or street designation for that run of the Blue Ridge Parkway. It's basically called Peaks of Otter.
Yeah, which is still a strange name, though.
I'm in the South, Bill. I'm in Virginia. But when I asked the kid, what is the name of this? When I ask him, what is the name of this place? And he tells me Pete Savatta. First of all, it's not Pete Savatta. He should have just told me the name of whatever I still don't know the name of it. I still don't know the name of it.
So you'd never be able to go back again.
I can't. I'd have to drive down the Blue Ridge Parkway till I found it again.
Right.
Anyway.
All right.
So so we're going to take a break?
Yeah, we'll take a break and we'll be right back with one of our segments. We'll lighten up the show a little bit. All right, here we go.
Okay.
All right.
This is Arnold, and you're listening to Pull Yourself to Pieces.
Arnold, is it a tumor?
It's not a tumor. Hey, catch a brand new episode every Wednesday. Hasta la vista, baby.
Peculiar Vernacular.
Welcome back to another segment of Peculiar Vernacular, where we talk about strange sayings, unusual words
strung together to make weird small sentences.
Hey.
Yeah?
You like pork?
You're getting personal now. I know I put on a few pounds, but you really don't have to be mean about it.
Well, I thought that the theme for today's Peculiar Vernacular would be pig.
Okay, I can deal with it.
Okay.
All
right. So we're going to test your your pig vernacular. Yeah.
My pig expertise.
How well do you know pig?
Well, I know Porky Pig.
Yeah.
I know police officers were called pigs for decades.
Uh-huh.
I know about a pig roast.
They roasted a pig? They they like that they do with those. They make all those jokes about him and stuff like that, and
they roasted. Oh, I see where you went with that. Oh,
yeah, he's
good.
on the dais, and they
a double entendre. That was good.
Yeah.
Roasted a pig.
All right. Well, do you know what a pig in a poke means?
Yeah, somebody between a rock and a hard place. Another peculiar vernacular. Yeah, somebody that has really, you're trapped. Your back's up against the wall. You're in trouble, buddy.
Well, according to what I'm reading, it says that actually a pig in a poke is something that you buy or you purchase without thoroughly inspecting it, and often it's negative consequences. Purchasing a home without inspecting it would be like buying a pig in a poke. So
yeah.
All right, so here's another one for you. What does bring your pigs to market mean?
I don't know. Give it your best. You give it your best shot, your best game, your best ball.
That's pretty close. Yeah, not bad. To do what one is capable of. So yeah, I would say that. Yeah, not bad. All right, you got 1 out of 2. That's not bad.
Yeah. Good guess.
How about about drive one's pigs to market?
Drive one's pigs to. That's like the last one you just told me.
Actually, not.
Not much of a derivation there.
I can't get any sleep with Will driving his pigs to market every night.
Oh, he farts a lot.
Oh, that would make more sense. Yeah, it's actually snore.
Oh,
yeah.
Ah, okay. All right, that makes sense. Yeah, pigs go. Yeah. Okay. All right. Yeah, that works for me. All right, I like that. Okay.
Right, and you say you don't snore.
I don't.
I stayed up on. How could you know if you snore?
I only snore when I sleep on my back, and as a rule, I don't sleep on my back. Otherwise,
how would you know if you're snoring?
Because I can tell you that I only snore on my back, and I don't sleep on my back. I sleep on my sides.
God, all I can say is if pigs had wings, they could fly. What's that mean?
I've never really understood that one.
Me either.
It really
it's
makes
a weird one, isn't it?
If horses had wings, they could fly. If people had wings, they could fly.
Right.
So I don't understand.
Maybe this sentence will help. If we could just get this is funny. If we could just get Democrats and Republicans to agree on a tax reform bill, we could bring the deficit down in no time. Sure, if pigs had wings. In other words, a situation that will never come
happen.
to pass.
Never happen. Oh, okay.
Right.
Okay. Got it.
All right.
Yeah.
Here's one for you. I haven't heard this one. I've heard variations of this one, but what's the saying, in a pig's ass mean?
Oh, man. In a pig's ass. Means
this little pill is supposed to help you lose 20 pounds. Yeah, in a pig's ass it does.
Right. A fabrication, calling out an obvious lie.
Yeah, something that's not going to happen.
Okay.
That ain't going to happen.
Well, that's like the last one. That's very similar to the last one.
There's a lot of unfortunately poor pigs get abused for that, don't they?
Yeah.
It's a shame.
Yeah.
All right. How about
imagine poor old, McDonald, that farmer.
All right. Here's a sentence.
Yeah.
Maybe I'll start giving you a sentence and then see if you can figure it out from the sentence. All right. Sorry for the wait, sir. Your lunch will be out in a pig's whisper.
In a pig's whisper?
I never heard that one.
That makes no sense at all.
Hey, I didn't make these up. Or did I?
Where did you find them?
All right. In a pig's whisper.
Not whisker. Not whisker.
No.
Whisper?
Do pigs have whiskers?
Yeah, they do.
Do they? Are you sure?
Uh-huh. Yeah, I'm almost positive they have whiskers. Yeah. Okay, so in a pig's whisper. Oh, man. I have no clue.
Very quickly.
Oh, very quickly?
Yes. We'll have it out in a pig's whisper. How the hell did that ever become a saying?
I don't know. It does. I'm sorry. I don't see the connection between the two.
Wow.
A pig's whisper and very quickly. I don't see the equation mark in there in between those two.
Oh. How about this? Ray looked like a pig on ice after stepping onto the slippery patch.
Oh, well, that I understand. I mean, that I understand.
Ray looked like a pig on ice when he went to the dance floor. Yep.
Yep. Oh, man.
Hey, we both
not
can
pretty.
dance.
It's not pretty, yeah.
And both our parents can dance. You would
has
thought
anyone if anyone has seen Young Frankenstein, I dance like the monster.
Yeah, there you go.
There you go.
Pig on Ice is unsteady, very clumsy.
Yeah, that's
the
me.
way we dance.
Yeah, no, we don't dance. We dance like we're having a fit. Like some sort of
Oh, remember that episode of Seinfeld?
Seinfeld?
What's his?
Yeah. Elaine dancing. Yeah, that's us.
Yeah.
We dance like your typical white people.
No soul, man. No rhythm.
No soul. No rhythm.
We ain't got none of that.
Nope.
All right, how about...
But I can sing.
Let's see. All right. As our canoe drifted down the river into the thickest part of the jungle, the thought crossed my mind that we may well end up as long pig for some savage's meal.
Oh, long pig. Again, back in the day when you'd see movies about pygmies and people in Africa, when they caught white people, they would tie them up to that long pole.
Oh yeah, very good.
They tie him hog tie him to that long pole and carry him. That's
cannibals.
I think.
Yeah, eating us. Yeah, there you go. Very good.
Yeah.
All right. How about taking a trip to pig heaven?
Take what?
Taking a trip to pig heaven.
Taking a trip to pig heaven.
How is this a saying? I never heard.
Oh,
this.
well, I do that every Tuesday because this is really great barbecue place off of Broad Street in Richmond. Oh my God!
What? It ain't pig heaven for the pigs. Well, then again, they are dead. So
look,
it's a win all the way around.
I'm sorry, all you PETA people out there are going to have an uproar, but certain animals are just bred to be our food.
Oh, that's horrible.
And
what?
Look, and if you
that's your logic.
If you choose to make a pet out of them, go right ahead.
Wow.
No one is stopping you. But there are animals that were bred specifically to be our food.
Oh, we are doomed.
I'm sorry. Doomed. Prove me wrong.
You're going. When you die, you're going to pig heaven.
I hope there's lots of barbecue sauce. That's all I care about.
All right, and one last one for you.
Yeah.
What does it mean when you wrestle with a pig?
You've seen my ex-wife.
That's not right. I knew you were going there.
Yeah, I always go there. What does it mean when you wrestle with a pig? I got it. You have sunk to their level. You're down in the mud with them. You're no better than them.
Huh. I'll tell you.
Did I get it? Was I close?
It says to attempt a futile task with someone who enjoys the struggle.
Oh. I didn't see that one coming.
As a pig would enjoy wrestling in the mud. Who says a pig? Do pigs actually tell us that?
I don't know. I think that's an assumption, my friend.
They cool off in the mud. They don't like to wrestle in the mud. Maybe they're not enjoying it. Just
we don't know.
They don't even like the mud.
They haven't learned to talk yet.
Not yet.
Unlike, let's see, what animal, what famous? Like Mr. Ed. So yeah, we'll never know.
Right, Mr. Ed.
Yeah.
Did you ever see Babe the movie?
No, but I heard it was very cute.
Oh, you'd like? No, not just cute. It's funny. It's the kind of movie you would like. You need to watch that.
Okay. Does he get eaten in the end, like barbecue sauce?
You want that?
Yeah.
Horrible.
I like ribs, buddy. I like my pork ribs.
Cruel.
What can I say?
I don't eat pig.
I know you don't. Yeah. I do.
All right, we're gonna take a break and come back with.
Why? You got something to do?
One of Ray's favorite segments.
Oh boy!
Right after this,
Naughty Nuns on the Run.
Yes, Naughty Nuns with the runs.
Wait. Oh! I don't think I want to see that.
This is Bill.
And this is Ray.
And you're listening to Pull Yourself to Pieces. Catch a brand new episode every Wednesday.
Every Wednesday? Wait, every week?
Well,
you expect me here every single week to do this?
Are you serious?
I have things to do. I've got library books. I gotta wash my car.
Are you serious? You can't be here just to record once a week?
All right.
Whew.
It's time for Loony Laws of the Land.
Welcome back to another edition of Loony Laws. And we kind of went through all the A's, Ray.
So we're going to start with B now, right?
B?
Yeah, B.
Which state has a B, Ray?
There must be one. Don't tell me there's no state that begins with a B.
There's no states that begin with a B, but there's states that have B's. But now we're on to C.
Oh, Oh,
And
I
our
see.
first state with C is, drum roll please,
Colorado. Colorado.
California, alphabetical.
Oh, rat. I was so close.
California's a big state. There is a lot of laws in California.
Yeah.
And they're just as wacky as every other state.
Excellent.
All right, you ready? Here we go.
Oh, I
There's
can't wait.
lots. All right. These
Hit me.
first few I'm going to mention are exclusive to Northern California.
Okay.
A man can't go outside while wearing a jacket and pants that do not match. What do they do?
You got to take something off. And I'm a bit modest. I would probably leave my pants on and just ditch the jacket.
There you go. Okay.
Yeah, they have to match.
I can't believe they uphold that one.
So the term fashion police is actually a realized thing.
In some parts of Northern California, apparently, yeah.
Wow, boy, I'll tell you. That's
wow.
I know there's a lot of rednecks that are going to get arrested for that one.
All right, Ray, I know you're a fan of this, but you're not going to be able to do it. Bowling on the sidewalk is illegal. There's a big problem.
Well, especially if you use illegal aliens for pins. That's bad. That's just
there was
wrong.
no pins. I just roll the ball.
That's a roll the ball. Hey, look, let's gather up 9 illegal aliens. I want you to stand here, and then you 2 are going to stand behind him, and then you say, "All right, here. Now I'm gonna roll this big." Could you just imagine bowling with humans?
It's ridiculous.
Bowling
all right, in
humans?
Northern California, Ray, it is illegal to own a smelly or green animal hide.
A what?
A smelly or a green. The color green. Smelly or green animal hide.
Animal hide. Green, smelly animal.
But
I mean,
green
how
or
many?
Smelly, which is kind of funny. It's like he's got a blue animal hide. It's okay.
How many green, smelly animals are there?
Yeah, really.
And why would you why would you wear their hide?
Well, maybe not wearing it, but
what? Well, what are you going to do with it?
Use it as
a flag? Wave it around like a flag?
There you go. Yeah.
I'm part of the the green team. Yeah. Hey, what does your flag smell? Hey, arrest this guy. Oh my goodness. This is it's unbelievable. It explains a lot about California though. Now I know why they're all high.
Well,
you got to be stoned to make it through a day there.
Yeah, well, if you're stoned and you fall on the road, it is illegal to sleep on a road in Northern California.
Well, that's not a bad law.
Yeah, really, if you don't want to get run over.
Yeah, that get stepped on, get rained on, get pooped on by dogs and cats. Yeah, there's a lot to be said for not sleeping in the road.
All right, this one kind of makes sense, although I can't imagine this being
an
issue. No, this next one.
Yeah.
It's illegal to plant a garden in a public street. What the hell you think you're doing? I mean, they had to make a law of that? People going around, they're planting gardens in a street.
I always thought Johnny Appleseed was just a myth, but apparently he goes around and he starts planting gardens, just in the parking lot of your local 7-Eleven.
Yeah.
Okay, what else you got there?
Oh, in Northern California, Ray, it is illegal for men who wear mustaches to kiss women. Oh, come on. There's no way. All right? There's no way.
Kiss them where? Because I'm sure that sucker's going to tickle quite a few different places. Now,
and is it going to be like the, what's that called? The one that curls
the handlebar mustache?
Shouldn't be allowed to even have that on the street.
Yeah. Okay.
All right. And one more. I don't know how this became a law. This is scary. Northern California, it's illegal to detonate a nuclear device within the city limits. A nuclear device.
A nuclear device.
Oops.
Yeah. You can walk around with it, but don't detonate it.
Yeah. Everyone's strapped to their backs. What do you got there, buddy?
I got this at Kmart. It's the latest nuclear device.
Wow.
You're going to set it off? He goes, what are you, crazy? You want me to get arrested?
All right, let's scoot down to Southern California.
Oh, this is going to be any better?
All right. If you live in San Diego, you should probably be aware that it's illegal to shoot rabbits from the back of a streetcar, Ray.
It's rampant.
Yeah.
At some point, there were people doing this like daily, and
had to be.
And so the powers that be said, "All right, we gotta put a stop to this."
Wow.
Because I didn't know rabbits would hang out in an inner city because that's where the streetcars are. But apparently, it was open season, rabbit season.
Hell yeah. Yeah. Well,
rabbit season.
All right. How about this? In Long Beach, okay, it is illegal to curse on a mini golf course.
Well, that'd leave me out.
If you're doing really, really poor, you can't even get any holes in.
That'd leave me out.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can let them fly with the best of them. So no, they'd be putting me in handcuffs.
All right. Okay, this is ridiculous. In
wait. Any of the previous ones haven't been? You made a distinction here?
Apparently, it's illegal in Baldwin Park in Southern California to ride your bike in a swimming pool. They made this law. Really?
It's called the jet ski bill. Yeah.
You can't even ride your bike. You go 1 foot in with the bike, it's going right to the bottom.
Go ahead. Try and explain it away. Go ahead. Try and explain it away.
All right. Okay, you've done this. Crazy person.
I gotta go now. See ya. Goodbye.
You get in trouble, but you didn't do it in this town. If you were in Glendale doing what you did, you'd be in trouble because it's illegal to drive your car in reverse.
What are you talking about? Everybody can drive a car in reverse.
No, but I think they mean on the road.
What?
You don't drive your car on the road.
When did I drive my car in reverse?
Yeah. You did something. Oh, no, wait.
No, what I used to do.
Oh, you did a thing where you sat in the passenger side.
I had a car that had a bench. I had a car that had a bench seat.
Right.
And it had cruise control. So I would be driving down the highway. I would set the cruise control, and I would slide over to the passenger seat. And with my left hand down low, I would steer the car. So anybody behind me would see a car driving with no body in the driver's seat. It was the funniest thing. And the people and the looks I would get were like, oh my God.
That's really dangerous.
Oh, of course it's dangerous. But, you only live once, Bill.
Oh, boy. All right.
Go ahead.
This is not good for any of these lazy people because if you keep your Christmas lights up past February in San Diego, you can get fined.
All right. What if they're not lit? See, that's the thing. See, that's a technicality.
Right.
Look,
no, that's
I have them up, but they're not on.
Yeah.
They're not on.
Oh, this is really funny. In the town of Blythe, you must own at least 2 cows in order to wear cowboy boots.
No way. I don't believe you. I don't believe you.
I didn't make
that
this
can't
up.
be a law. That cannot be a law. I don't believe you.
All right.
So the same person for counting your cows is also the same person that has access to your closet? Well, he's a busy guy or gal. All right. How many cows do you have? Right. Let me see your shoe closet. Okay. 2 pairs of boots. You got to go.
All right. These last ones are just exclusive to San Francisco. Oh, boy.
I left my heart.
A dog walk. Yeah. You can only walk up to 8 dogs at a time in San Francisco. 8 dogs.
Oh, okay. That would be a dog wrangler.
Okay, this is really weird. Not like all the other ones aren't.
You're making a distinction now?
In San Francisco, a controversial nudity ban that went into effect in 2003 says that you can only be naked in public if you have a parade permit. Oh, my God. I don't think I want to see a parade of naked people.
I would.
You'd be joining them.
Well, I wouldn't mind a float of, let's say, women gymnasts.
Yeah, but that's
that I wouldn't mind. But
no,
I
but if
wouldn't
it's a
want to
bunch
see.
of elderly people, then it's going to
I don't want to see the homeless float. No, I don't want to see that.
In San Francisco, you're not allowed to store anything, Ray, in your public or private storage garage unless it's an automobile. That sucks. That's not fair. That's
what?
Not
Wait
fair.
a minute. Read that again. Read that
in San
again.
Francisco, you're not allowed to store anything in your public or private storage garage unless it's an automobile.
Unless it's an automobile.
Yeah.
So
letting you put an automobile in there.
So what you're telling me is you can put your car in there, but you can't put your lawnmower in there. You can't put your bicycles in there. You can't put the freezer with the dead body parts in there. Jesus, what can you put in? Really, just your car? Boy, so
wow.
I guess you have to have a shed for the rest of the junk. Golly.
In San Francisco, it is illegal to ride your horse drunk.
Wait, the horse is drunk or the ride is drunk? Because if the horse is drunk, that's going to be trouble. Whoa, Nelly.
Oh,
Wilbur, get me some coffee.
Speaking of horses, it's also apparently illegal to pile your horse manure higher than 6 feet. 6 feet? That's a lot of horse.
What are you feeding a Beano like in Seinfeld? Jesus, 6 feet? You can't. And who goes around with the tape measure? Who got that job? All right, you're at 6'2", buddy. You're going away. That's it.
Wow.
And these are still on the books, eh, Bill? These are current laws.
Well, apparently.
Okay.
I don't live there, and I haven't tried to break any of them, but
Okay. All right.
All right, well, here is one from a really long time ago. Maybe it could still be active. Probably not, maybe. In 1867, San Francisco implemented an ugly law. Which
Go ahead.
Which prohibits unsightly people from showing their faces in public. Oh, come on.
And now we know why plastic surgery was born.
Yeah.
Makes a lot of sense.
All right, one last one. In San Francisco, apparently it is unlawful for more than one person over the age of 13 to enter or remain in an automatic public toilet at one time.
So, no poker games in there, huh? Damn.
San Francisco.
Yeah.
There you go. Well, that's
Alrighty.
California. A bit wacky.
Slightly.
A bit
Slightly. Not any wackier than any other states we've talked about so far.
No. That's true.
Wow.
So there you have it.
Okay.
Another state.
Well, I think that's a show. What do you think?
I think that's a show. Yeah.
All right.
I don't want to see too much because the nude parade is already still in my mind. So.
Oh. Now,
Trying to
see, I'm
get
going
that
to
out.
think about that all night. All right. So, so y'all be good to each other out there, okay? And
That's right. Until next week. And
if you're listening and you want to leave a comment, please, by all means, we welcome all comments.
Right. Getting what's inside out. That's us.
That's it. Getting what's inside out.
Did we
That could be
accomplish that this week?
that could be a bowel movement,
Yeah, sure.
technically. Yeah.
Sometimes that makes you feel good.
Yeah.
A good one.
All right, say goodnight, Gracie.
Good night, Gracie.
Please check out our website, pullyourselftopieces.com.
That's right.
And you can subscribe to the show in Google and Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Breaker, Castbox, Pocket Casts, Radio Public, Stitcher, and YouTube, or via RSS, so you'll never miss an episode.
And if you enjoy our show, don't forget to give us a high rating.
And remember to tell your friends about the show.
Thanks for listening to our show, and thank you to freesounds.org and Gottlieb, Audio Mirage, Plasterbrain, Cognito Perceptu, FK Prod, Mirage Chaser, Shadow Wisp, D-Boss, Viku Seru, Intra Environmental Sound Project, Julian Nicholas, Carmelo Mike, G Kill Hour, 140178 Sound, CMU Sound Design. Alan Mchi, Der Super Anton, Eric H2000, Bulbastray, FK Phantom, Ultra Dust, Ada Records, Stuart Colborn, DeBroid, Cubidup, GJ, Syntax Seed, Inspector J, Astounded, Madge 061785, Just Invoke, Short Record, Lorenzo Sue, and I'm Mackenzie. CreativeCommons.org/licenses/by/3.0/legal code.